We're now here with Chef Oren, who's been working here at Quattro Restaurant since its opening a year and a half ago. Why don't you start out by telling us the concept of Quattro Restaurant?
Okay, I think the concept of Quattro is modern Italian restaurant. I think it's not a classic restaurant. We have a special design and we try to make an ultimate experience for the guests. It's not a classic dishes. Everything is played very well and very innovative way, and it's very connected with the design and the atmosphere outside.
Okay, beautiful. So what is the first dish that you're going to make for us?
I'm gonna make you an hamburger tartare, and it's a little molecular dish. It looks like classic pasta dish, but it's raw fish. We have an hamburger tartare rolled in a black pasta sheet. We have a tomato gazpacho. We have some spaghetti of mozzarella and balsamic pearls. I'm gonna plate you the dish. This is a tomato gazpacho, and I'm gonna make it on the plate.
Do you import any of your ingredients from Italy, or it's all local?
Only the balsamic from Italy. We have special ingredients in Israel and great products, and I'm very proud of this. We are modern Italian. We take classic dishes and we make it our own way, and we try to make it more innovative, more special, and the guests are very, very. They want it. They want it a step further.
So it's not like traditional food that an Italian grandmother would serve to their kids.
I'll show you some classic dishes, a little more complex, a little more with a new twist. The taste is the same like what you imagine, but the appearance is very different. This is fresh mozzarella that I transferred it to a.
How did you get it to look like that spaghetti shape?
This is with flexigel. It's a powder that make it gel. I'm gonna put the rolls. This is the parsley root cream. I have some basil leaves and celery leaves. I put a parsley chips, little of the balsamic pearls. This is a good quality of balsamic that I turn it into pearls.
Looks like caviar.
Yeah, it's look like, but it's only balsamic. It blows in your mouth.
So, is this dish considered an appetizer here
Yes,
at Quattro?
it's an appetizer restaurant, in our restaurant. Actually, it's a new dish. It was for the New Year's Eve.
Oh, well, this dish looks absolutely amazing, stunning. I love the presentation. Why don't we start cooking the next recipe?
Let's go. Roasted tomato ravioli. I think it's a very classic Italian dish, but I think when you imagine roasted tomato ravioli, I think you expect the ravioli with cheese, and the sauce will be roasted tomato. So I take it here, I made it inside out. The roasted tomato is the filling,
and the cheese is the sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna plate it to you, you can see this.
Okay.
So I put out the roasted tomato ravioli, and the dough is very thin. I think the adaptation we make to the Israeli customers is we make a thin dough and we make our own adaptation to the customers. So now I'm gonna plate it to you.
How did you make these raviolis?
The filling, like I told you, it's roasted tomatoes. So I take the tomatoes and peel them, put out the seeds, and bake them in the oven with thyme and salt and pepper for a long time. So it's gonna be like maybe 2 hours, but in low temperature. So it's gonna be a more meaty texture. Blue cheese fondue. The blue cheese is very light. It's not heavy. It's not powerful. Put to the dish a little saltiness, and it go very well with the roasted tomatoes. now I put roasted cherries. And this is fresh cherry tomatoes that I grind and strain to put some freshness on the dish. It's not very heavy. It's a starter. And some croutons for the crispiness and to give it a little another texture. And some of balsamic pearls. And some good olive oil in the end. And as you can see, the food is very simple but very complex. I want it to be very light but very strong. I think it's a beautiful dish and beautiful starter.
Yeah. This dish, once again, is beautifully presented with all the different colors, the green, the red, and the balsamic pearls, which is it unique to this restaurant?
Yes, it's.
I haven't seen it.
It's very unique. We make it our own, and I didn't see it anywhere else.
So I think now we're going to move on to the more simple dishes. So as opposed to the other ones, they were beautifully presented. If you have the time and the skill to make it, so be it. What is the next dish we're going to make?
The next dish I'm going to make you is a classic dish in Italy. It's called the cacio e pepe. It's pepper pasta. It's based on olive oil, tomato seed, ground pepper. It's very simple, but very. It needs to be very accurate to taste well. The ingredients are fresh pasta, 1 egg yolk, fresh ground pepper, little butter, and olive oil.
Okay, sounds good. Let's begin.
Let's begin. First of all, I'm gonna put the fresh pasta in the pasta cooker. Then some olive oil in the pan. Some butter. It's not to be very high heat. And fresh ground pepper. It's very important, the aroma of the pepper, and we put a lot. Little chili powder. The sauce always wait for the pasta, not the opposite way. And I put a little of the water of the pasta, and it's gonna coat the pasta. And we're gonna plate it. I'll put the pasta on the ring on the plate. I'm gonna make a room for 1 egg yolk, cured in soy sauce.
Wow.
It just make it a little firmer, and it won't blow or break in the dish.
How long is the egg yolk soaked in the soy sauce for?
I think the egg yolk need maybe 20 or 30 minutes.
In the refrigerator or
yes,
in room
in the
temperature?
refrigerator. Yeah. And I'm gonna put some little more black pepper on the egg yolk. Put out the ring.
And voila, it's ready.
No.
Oh, not yet.
I put some cherry tomato seeds just to put a little
Sourness.
maybe a little sourness to break the sauce and the cream from the egg yolk. Usually scramble the egg yolk inside the pasta. Here in Quattro, we want the guests
let the guests do the job.
It's part of the show. Parmesan cheese on the side. And now it's ready.
Now it's ready to be served. I can't wait to eat it.
Okay, let's go to eat it
Let's go.
outside.
First of all, let's cheers on this amazing meal you made for us today. Good job.
Thanks.
So let's start with the amberjack tartare. Let's mix all these flavors together. The cheese spaghetti. This is really good. You can taste the freshness. Let's try these balsamic pearls.
It's nice, it's blowing in your mouth.
It does, it pops in your mouth. Nice flavor. You know what? Anything with cheese I absolutely love.
And this is very delicate cheese, and you can taste the dough is
pretty
very
light.
thin. That I let the filling to speak.
Yeah.
We are back for another day at Natalie Gleitman's kitchen of Natalie's Cuisine, where she's going to be teaching us how to make
zucchini pasta with homemade basil pesto.
Yum.
So what's great about this dish is that it's really the easiest and quickest dish, and I say that a lot about my dishes, but it really is.
It really is.
And you will see that this is such a day-to-day dish. Even when you get home late, this is the dish to make because it's so quick. And also it's lactose-free, it's histamine-free, it's kosher, it's vegan, it's gluten-free, like it's
There's
for
no
everybody.
reason for you not to eat it.
Exactly,
Let's put it that
like
way.
whatever you have, you can eat those.
You don't have an excuse.
Yeah, like you cannot have any tolerance
No.
that doesn't cover this dish.
Yes.
So
what do
let's
we
get
start with?
started. This is really fun to make. So I have this little like helping toy, which is gonna help me to spiralize the pasta. So you can do it either thin or thicker. So let's go with a thicker option today. So you literally just have to, it's like a pencil sharpener,
Yeah.
you know? You just do like this.
Just shave.
And then you get like your pasta. And so we're gonna repeat this process with all the other
Cut this.
zucchinis until you think like you have enough. Like I would say you need like 3 zucchini per person, depending like how big they are.
Okay.
And then you should be satisfied. And then at the end, I just add also some mozzarella to like make it a little bit more filling, which is not vegan, but
it's an
it's just
addition.
an option. Like it's not part of the recipe, it's just a topping. So let's get you started.
Let's try this out.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it is
You're
easy.
doing it, yeah.
If you haven't noticed, people, I'm not that experienced in the kitchen, so Natalie's here to teach us how to make simple, easy, healthy meals.
Yes. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna boil it just as we would cook normal spaghetti, but much less time, obviously. It's just gonna take us about like 3 minutes, and then because we don't want them al dente, we don't want them to get mushy.
Okay. So before we boil the zucchini pasta, we're gonna make the sauce. So what's the first step?
So we are just taking fresh basilicum, some water, olive oil, macadamia nuts, and a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And that's our pesto. I'm gonna add like a really generous amount of olive oil because basically pesto is mostly made about olive oil. And we're not heating this up, so... And then I add a little bit of water. I could use like more olive oil, but to reduce the fat a little bit,
You're gonna
I'm
use
just
water.
gonna use a little bit more water. And then we are going to mix this baby up.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So now we mixed up the pesto nicely. So why I use macadamia nuts is because we need something to make it more creamy. So if you want to make it a little bit more fluid or a little bit more thicker, just add either more basilicum or more olive oil or water.
Okay.
And then you see when you get the perfect consistency. What I like to do is while I cook the zucchinis, I'll leave it in the fridge a little bit because it firms up a little bit in the fridge. So we're gonna do that.
And now we are going to cook the zucchini.
Exactly. So now the water is boiling. I have another fun fact. So we do add salt to get a little bit more like taste to the zucchini, but use the salt only once the water is boiling because otherwise it takes forever for the water to get hot. So only add the salt once your water is already boiling.
We love Natalie's fun facts.
So now 2 minutes later, our pasta is already ready. So we're gonna drain the water now and then we can serve. Be careful with the hot water so you don't burn your fingers.
Okay, so we have cooked the zucchini pasta, we have made this pesto sauce, and
now we just have to mix it up.
let's do it.
So I'm gonna take all the pasta in here. So like a very nice portion for one person. We're gonna add our basilic pesto, which firmed up a little bit. I think it has like the perfect consistency.
Wow.
I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Be careful not to smush the zucchini too much. But it is such a bikini seasoned dish, actually.
Bikini seasoned dish, people.
Such a bikini seasoned dish because it's like really filling and it's delicious.
It's like you want pasta, but the
Exactly.
carbs aren't worth it, and then you get pasta and zucchini.
Exactly. So now I'm just gonna chop up this mozzarella into. This is really just an add-on.
This is optional, basically.
Very optional. Like some people don't like it, some people can't eat it. So this is just an add-on, which I like to do.
Yeah, for sure. It smells delicious.
And then we're
It's a
just
good.
gonna-
It's a good combination with the zucchini and the mozzarella.
I think so. And there we go.
And there you have it.
Bon appetit.
Thanks. Okay, a little bit of zucchini. Zucchini.
You like it?
This might actually be my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah, this actually might be my favorite one.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Once again, we are back with Natalie Gleitman of Natalie's Cuisine in her beautiful kitchen to learn how to make apple crumble
With vanilla sauce.
with vanilla sauce.
Yeah, so first things first, we have to cut up these apples. This is gonna be the base of our cake. So
Okay.
that's how we're gonna start. Each
you.
one is gonna get an apple. So
Side question, can you use green apples?
yes, you can. You can use green apples. I like to use red apples. Sometimes I mix it up. Honestly, mixing it up is actually the nicest combination because then you have like sweet and soury. So I really love to use both, like 2 and 2. Then it's gonna be like really fine slices, like it doesn't have to be see-through, but like this thick,
Okay.
because then they get like soft. So what's great about this dish, as usual, people are gonna laugh, but it is so easy. And I have made it also on my Instagram story, and you can find the recipe on my blog, nataliescuisine.com.
Yes.
And it's really a great dish because you have like the crumble and the sweetness of it, but it's not too sweet. Make a healthy version of it.
Yes.
You know, instead of using like all this sugar, we're gonna do a vegan option, which is also lactose-free and histamine-free, and
Delicious. Because it doesn't taste, you don't taste the difference. It just
exactly, you
tastes.
don't taste it. It's a healthy dish. And that's why people like always like shy away a little bit from healthy dishes because they're like, they taste like nothing. And
There's no sugar, there's no flavor, but that's not true.
That's not true because the flavor comes from the fruit itself. What kind of destroys the flavor is all these additives
sugary.
and sugars, because you can just use like some natural sugars and all natural ingredients, and you really get like the sweetness and the taste of the fresh fruit instead of adding so much stuff, and you won't even taste that it's an apple underneath,
Right.
you know? So I
It's-
really work with...
Seems fake as opposed to
Exactly. So I'm really using only very natural ingredients.
So we cut up all the apples, we put them into our dish.
Yes.
Now.
This is our base, only
Okay.
fresh fruit, and now we're making the crumble. So what I did here is that I already like mixed up macadamia nuts in the mixer. It's 100 gram, and we're just gonna put this in here.
And that's kind of like one of the bases of the crumble.
Exactly. And now we're gonna add 100 gram of whole spelt flour. We're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon and like a handful of raisins. I always buy them like in an organic shop because then they're like without any additives and sulfites, which kind of can cause like problems for people with intolerances. And also we really want to keep it like very natural with fresh ingredients without any like...
You could do this with cranberries too.
Yeah, you could, but apple, cinnamon, and raisin is like a
kinda
really
work
nice
together.
combination. And then we're just gonna add like 2 tablespoons of honey. And we're gonna get our hands a little bit dirty. So we're just gonna really crumble this thing up. It should be like a crumbly consistency because that's what we want, an apple crumble. Perfect. And now I'm just gonna place all of this on my crumble. And that's the crumble. I mean,
And that's
you don't
it,
believe
people.
how quick it is, but I always tell you it is, and then
true.
I prove you right.
Right, she does always tell me that all her recipes are super easy, super delicious, healthy, and very fast to make.
And I always prove you right.
And she does. Yes. That's it. You're trying to tell me that you put it in the oven.
And then in the meantime, we're gonna do the vanilla sauce.
That easy, people.
This goes into the oven for 20 minutes. You will see when like the crumble starts to turn like golden.
It's ready. So the sauce, what we have is like coconut milk, we have rice flour, some vanilla, honey, and a piece of cooked pumpkin. So everybody will be thinking, what pumpkin doing in my vanilla sauce?
I thought that.
Pumpkin has like a very quite neutral taste. So it will help us first of all to get like this orangey yellowy color, and also to thicken the consistency, make it more saucy, you know. So
our
let's
first step
start
is
adding 250 milliliters of coconut milk. You could also do it with normal milk or with lactose-free milk, but since I cook completely histamine-free, lactose-free, and mostly gluten-free, then, and also a lot of vegan, then use coconut milk is the way to go.
And it gives a little coconut flavor.
Exactly, and I love I'm obsessed with coconut.
Yes,
like I work a lot with coconut, so
you put in the pumpkin.
I put it everywhere.
A piece of pumpkin. How much vanilla?
Like a teaspoon.
A teaspoon of vanilla.
Or half a teaspoon. It depends how crazy you are about vanilla. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of rice flour, which is also kind of for making it like
consistent.
Yeah, like more sticky. And we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of honey to get this sweet. Yum. So the apple crumble is ready. It's pretty hot. We want it to be warm, but let's let it cool off for just a few minutes. And I already kind of mixed up this vanilla sauce. So what I did is I put all the ingredients that we had before into the pot, heating it up just like 3-4 minutes. Then I put it into the mixer, mixed it all up, and now we have the vanilla sauce, which looks beautiful and smells amazing. And we're just gonna leave it in the fridge while the apple crumble is cooling off a little bit, because it's gonna help the vanilla sauce to harden a little bit.
So the vanilla sauce has cooled down, so has the apple crumble, and we're ready to plate.
Exactly. So I'm gonna cut this still quite warm, which is nice. And the idea is that it is crumbly, so
we did the correct job.
Because we want it to be a crumble, it's not a cake, that's why it's called crumbles. It's even more firm.
Wow. Now it's time to taste.
Yes.
It's very vanilla-y.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you can choose like how much vanilla you want to put, and how much vanilla powder you want to put in the sauce. And this is something I do every week, like I swear.
It's super simple and so delicious.
And it's great as a dessert.
Very fast.
Yeah, it is. It was very fast. And it's just great as a dessert because after like a big meal, the last thing you need is like a very heavy, creamy, like real big cake.
Right.
So this is great when you have family over and you want something sweet and fresh that is not like really heavy at the end of the meal.
For sure. Thanks.
Thank you for coming.